from our home,
Live.
thought, and making out with random people. So we had a COVID scare,
JD.
but we
That's fun
here
to let the people know.
and we ready to go. How you feeling, Kai?
I feel good. I feel good. Much
That's
needed.
good. But we'll be right back talking about how the external world can affect learn something. Learn. Tell us what's going on. Tell everybody why we're doing this from home right now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me or can you not hear me? I just see your face looking very, very unenthused right now.
Yes. Can you can't?
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear us? Tell us in the chats. Let me look at the chats. Anybody in the chat? Can you hear Kai? I'm not hearing Kai.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't see my little.
All the way up over here.
I'm tired of leaving. Come back.
Technical. All right, she's popping out, popping back in. Hopefully we can get that connection to work out. But again, we're here going live from our own homes because, like I said, we're just trying to be cautious. Kai had a friend who actually, who said that they tested positive. So we're just playing it safe. She's at home, we're at home, but we're here with you. And I'm Ray J in my hat today. So prepare for every 30 seconds for this to change. All right, let's see if Kai is back.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, hey,
No,
hey, no. Damn, darn it.
Can you hear me though? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yo.
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Something. Yes, I hear you. Let me turn down my volume because I was freaking out. Like, why can't I hear you? But yeah, whatever you're wiggling, keep wiggling that. So, but yeah, I just told everybody about the COVID scare. You had a friend who actually tested positive, so that's why we're in separate homes. But how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Give us a little update on the whole situation.
I feel fine. I actually had the second dose of the vaccine, so that actually a little down and under and who's had it.
Okay.
The second was a little stronger than the first one. The first one felt like
how did you feel? Like, what did you feel? What
my
was
arm was
different?
a little sore.
And that's it.
Well, I just felt more of it. Like the first one felt my arm was the first one my arm was sore, I was a little tired. This one
Okay.
at night of the first dose, I mean the night of the first day, I had like chills, body aches. The next day I was pretty much sleeping all day.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and was it just like fatigue or did you kind of feel uncomfortable? Did you get that?
Like body aches and chills.
Okay.
Huh?
Nothing. I was listening to you, but I hope you
What'd you
feel
say?
better. Like I said, I was saying I hope you feel better. Is the main point. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Put some hearts in the comments. Let's give Kai some love. Hopefully she comes through this. I hear the little cough. That's a little disheartening, but hopefully you're gonna be okay. Fingers crossed. Good vibes to you. Good
There's a little
vibes to
cough
you.
there.
Right. How was the week though? How you been?
Yeah. I was also good. So I was out on day, usually if I'm out in the cold, because LA weather is crazy.
Right. It was hot
So
today
I was
too.
out the first day, it was cold, and now today was
Right.
88 degrees. So
Right. Like it was hot.
yeah,
Like
so I
hot
was
hot.
happening. Sometimes I'll get when I do that. Yeah, I went outside and I was dying. It was not.
Yeah, so look, she sent me a text and was
What are
like,
you doing?
I think you said you had a hundred and something fever, you weren't feeling well. So I called her, and I was thinking like I was gonna hear, hey, sorry, like I heard wind. She was all outside, like, no, I'm fine. I'm just, I just want to be safe. So I was a little nervous, but I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Hopefully that continues, and yeah, keep your head up. So my week was more the same, just working. I do have a pretty big wedding this weekend, so I've been preparing for that, and just trying to stay positive, man. It's just been weird, which is kind of the point of our show today, is just to kind of talk about the cycles and different things about how the external world, the moons, and different things can affect your moods, because a lot of these things are just in cycles, and we're all going through them, and it feels like you're alone. It feels like the world is against you, but it's really just, cycles, and, stay strong. It'll pass, the whole mentality. And yeah, we're just going to chat about it. So this weekend, though, did you watch you don't watch boxing, do you, Kai? Do you watch boxing? I think I always ask you about sports, and I'm like, I need to stop asking. I'm just going to assume you don't. But shout out all the Mexican Americans. Canelo Alvarez came through. He beat Plant. I'm a Carmelo Anthony fan. I'm Carmelo Anthony. I'm really saying Carmelo Anthony, but Canelo.
Canelo.
Right? You see how I mixed that up? Canelo Alvarez. I'm a Canelo Alvarez fan. He was my second favorite when Mayweather was boxing, and now that Mayweather's gone, he's my favorite. So the fight was exciting. It was a great fight, and Plant actually had me nervous. Like, I didn't give Plant a chance at all. So, he made me a little nervous because he had a shifty defensive style that it took Alvarez a little bit of time to figure out. But once he figured it out, it was all lights out. So, and that was in like the 11th round. So it was a great fight. Shout out all the Mexican Americans out there. Let me throw some horns on that. But it was a great fight. So I saw that. And what else did I do this weekend? I think that was one of the biggest things. And yeah, did you hear about the Astroworld concert? Travis Scott's thing?
Yes.
Right? Did you hear about that?
That really
okay.
sucks.
Sorry, I swear it's a delay.
It was like it people was okay. Somebody said the looked stunning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually heard somebody was running around with like a syringe, like stabbing people with like dirty syringes. Like so
yeah.
I don't know. It was just it was madness. But I grew up in Houston.
And apparently they started.
Go ahead.
They've couple like 47 lawsuits.
Right, lawsuits. I didn't hear about the lawsuits about
mounting. What? So they're expecting hundreds of lawsuits against that. I'm sure there's a reason.
Right.
People dying at your event.
Right, but how did they? I don't know. I guess negligence that you had too many people in the crowd. Like,
and the whole company.
That's crazy. I don't know. Well, good luck to everybody.
Also, that the security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your audio's like choppy, but security. What? I missed that part.
Listening to you be on the delay. Funny.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why it's delaying. I don't like. Maybe it's a connection. Your connection looks really weak when I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna blame you on because you're over there looking real choppy. So hey, it's okay. It'll be a choppy COVID conversation. Yeah, right. No, but it does look very weak. I can see your connection, but we gonna make it through. We gonna make it through. What else is going on in the current events? What do we have on here today? Yeah, 46 seats.
What do we have?
You look cute though. At least you look cute. You look cute when you're sick.
Yes. Oh, apparently Thank you.
Apparently.
Apparently, it's going to be a big. The pregnancy test sales are rise 13% since June 2020, which is up an average of usually usually it only
What does
goes
that
about
mean
up about
though?
2%. That means people are getting pregnant. And people about to have
I
mad
know, that's what I'm
babies.
saying. No, I was like, what is the, do they have a cause? Because, like COVID, there's nothing else to do but have
COVID
sex, or
ain't nothing
what's,
else to do.
yeah, right, I guess. Like pregnancy's on the rise.
Yes,
Well,
there's
I
gonna
don't
be a
know.
baby
Maybe we have a new
boom.
baby boomers. I know I was going to
Yeah,
say, we have the 2021 baby boomers.
that's what they're. And doesn't that, just as a
Right.
sidebar, doesn't that speak to like the cycles of like
Right.
just cycles of things? You know, we had a baby boom back in the 1950s and 60s,
Right.
right? And then now baby boom, and then slowly it started to go down, and
Yeah.
now with the millennials, boop, we back up.
Right, we back up. So yeah, I was telling Kai, like we kind of were talking about a lot of these, different changes in the world, and I actually usually I don't even really follow astrology that seriously. Like I'm not even into signs. So a lot of these things I think do play a part, but I try not to kind of base my life on them, but it is interesting to know, which is another reason why I think, we both were interested in having this discussion. Are you into astrology? Do you follow the signs? Do you date with signs? Like, is there a sign you wouldn't date?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, there's a con that
Really? Like,
well,
but,
I'm a Pisces,
right.
and my rising is a Gemini. My moon is a Taurus.
Okay. So
So
moon,
I
like, what
would
does that mean?
not
Break that down for the people like
date
me.
another I would not Pisces male.
Okay.
Okay,
And why?
so your I'll break it down for you because of the delay. I would not date a Pisces man. They're emotional. They're really emotional, and I don't like that.
Okay.
That doesn't compliment me
Emotional.
well.
Okay.
Your sign that you were born when? You're air, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm April 15th. I'm an Aries goat. I don't know what that means, but I represent it. So it is what it is.
Right. Fire sign.
Right.
You're
Passion.
a fire sign. As a fire, right. And you're very impulsive. Do you know your rising is how people view you as?
Okay.
Do you know any?
None, nothing. I have no idea. Like,
Do
listen,
you know
I,
your
I
rising?
think I found out what I was just so I can have a part in this conversation, and and that's why I know Aries goat. That's it. I don't know what the goat is. I don't know anything else. I just know that's what it is, so I can say, yeah, that's me. So enlighten us, Kai. That's what I said. You teach me. I'm here to learn.
So your rising, yes. So your rising sign is you come across this to other people. So my
Okay.
rising is a Gemini. People could see me as somebody like Gemini characteristics, like
Right.
someone who can be really high energy, one low energy in the moment, right?
I'm looking mine up.
So
I'm
that's
gonna
like
look mine up now.
what I would look at. And my moon sign, yeah. You have to know you were born and where.
Okay. So I was born. Are you gonna do it? Can you look it up? Do you have something you could do
My
it with?
God, yes, I could do it.
Okay, turn up. So I was born in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, if that matters. Um, April 15th. Do I have to give you the year? Because that's a lot of information over the internet thing. This is this is
Wait.
it's it's before the 80s. I mean it's like just a little bit. No, it's
Hold on.
1979. Go ahead and calculate 42. I'm not ashamed of how old I am. I'm actually like I'm fighting it right now because I don't know what we're in, but I've been feeling very negative and very like just not confident, and it has to do with getting old, like because I feel like my body
Oh.
doesn't do the things it used to, and you start seeing
Mm.
imperfections, and just little things. I'm starting to nitpick at myself a lot. So I don't know where it's coming from. If it's relationship negativity, if it's just that I don't have time to kind of, what's the word? I don't have much personal time to kind of dig in my head. I also don't have my creative time. So I feel like there's a lot of things that's just in my head and I can't get it out.
70
and
what?
I don't know. Say again.
79, 78.
Listen, why do you make me repeat these things, Kai? It was a secret. 79, yes.
Okay.
Jeez. What was it
Jeez.
again?
What time? What's your time?
Wait, that's a lot. Let me text my mama. Mama, let me check the comments. Is she in here? Who do we have in here? Shout out somebody in the comments. Let me
Well,
take a look
I saw
at our
Coco up
comments.
in there.
Mark Bond is in this joint. What's up, Mark? It's James. I don't know why he went Mark. He went Mark Bond on him.
Something happened with that video. I got.
Yeah, we're checking out my astrology sign right now. She's gonna tell me things.
Crystal's up in here.
Hello, Crystal. Yeah, we got so many different rooms. So if you haven't
Christian's
already,
up in
make sure you
here.
guys are following
Bridget was
us
here.
on Facebook. Our Facebook page, I think, is still the JD and Kai Show, but we are going to be changing it to the IYKYK_ this show. But that's where we are everywhere else on Instagram,
Girl.
YouTube, everywhere. It's IYKYK_ the show. All right, type that in. Make sure you follow those pages. But our main family is here on the Facebook page, so join
You
that.
know,
Right, exactly. What have you found out about me, Kai? Tell me things. Tell me things. Nothing. Your face is.
but you gotta tell me the time.
What?
All right.
The time.
Cool.
Let's just guess. I think it was
Tell
early.
me-
Let's do. I'm gonna call my mama on the live and see if she'll tell me.
Okay. So
Do yours? All right. Yeah. I
your
was gonna say.
Capricorn is ascendant, meaning you're rising.
Okay, that means I get turned on, or what does that mean? What's rising?
So
Ooh, COVID.
your rising means the way people perceive you.
Okay.
The way people perceive you.
So they perceive me as a Capricorn.
It says Capricorn as the Capricorn ascendant people have great sense of responsibility and duty. They are considered rational people and to reveal their inner ambitious and objective. They strive for responsibility.
So that's my fake stuff, or is that what people perceive, or is that real?
That's like how people perceive you based upon what you show people in the outside.
Okay, and but explain that to me. So like, what does that mean? Does that mean that's not true?
then
That's
you-
just how I come off? Oh, huh?
Come on.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Like, look, this is like talking. You ever talk to somebody who stutters? That's how I feel right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yo, my bad. Yo, this sucks, yo. This sucks.
Yeah, it's
Hold on.
it's,
Let
it's
me
funny
try to
though.
connect
Bear
to
with me.
the other joint.
No,
try to
don't
connect to
change
her.
nothing, Kai. Listen,
Yes.
we're gonna deal with this just like it
No.
is. So
Don't care.
I was
Don't care, guys.
right. So at least she looks cute in the face when her face freezes. At least it's cute. But anyway, thank you guys for being here and laughing at us through this. Again, the
You know how we
main
do.
topic today is how your external world affects your internal, and all the different cycles. We're gonna hit the
Yeah,
big ones.
JD, let's get into that before while I figure out my life over here.
Yeah, please figure out your life. Let's start with the one that I actually that's pretty big is the seasonal affective disorder, which is a weird thing. They call it SAD, but it's basically just how the different seasons. Wait, let me find a description because I just learned this too. I was learning as we went through the kind of the planning of the show, and I was like, a lot of this stuff I'm learning myself. So let me find this definition. Where is it at? I do. This is the one that affects women a little more than men, right? Kai, where's that at? Kai has left me all alone. It's very sad.
No. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Kai's still here. All right, I'm pulling up these notes. When you added more stuff to these notes, I have no idea where my things are. All right. Sad. So, basically directly tied to seasonal and weather daylight changes. Symptoms normally begin when the weather changes during colder and daylight decreases. What's that, Kai? I just hear you whimpering behind us. So yeah, and this one I think does affect men or women a little bit more than men, according to the statistics. And all of this is all jumbled up. Let's see. I think it impacts around 5% of adults, and where is the stat on men and women? But yeah, it doesn't affect everybody, but about 5% of adults. But it actually is a very popular disorder. I mean, if it affects only 5 people, I don't even feel like it's that big of a deal. But I don't know. Maybe all of my friends are in the 5%. So, and Kai has given up. So, again, we did the home. We're going live from home because we had a COVID scare. But Kai is having a little bit of an internet problem, so stick with us. Right now, we're kind of going through a few of these seasonal disorders, which I'm not good at. So the person who actually is more seasoned in this is having issues. So I wanted to ask questions. I'm here to learn. So I'm with you guys. I was going to just take notes and find out why I'm crazy. But apparently, we're having trouble doing that. So how y'all doing? Let me check my my stuff. Thanks, James. He said my lighting makes my skin look stunning. I appreciate that. So we're waiting on Kai to come back. I think she's dealing with her internet. So I'm going to wait because I can't lead y'all through this. But the question is, do you feel seasonal depression? Or like, do you just go through cycles where you feel like you just feel just down? You start feeling down. You start feeling like you don't believe in yourself. Like I'm feeling like I just don't feel confident. I feel like even when I watch our show, I don't even like to watch it all the way through because I feel like I look stupid and all of this stuff. And it really comes in cycles. So, I have always been positive. I always find a way to get through it. I always hold myself accountable, which always helps. But, but it comes back and you have to keep reminding yourself. So knowing that sometimes these things happen seasonally, you can prepare for it. You can, you can kind of look at yourself and say, hey, wait, what time is it? What time of year is it? Oh, okay. Maybe it's retrograde or something. Kai's back. Kai, listen, I'm trying to explain things I don't even understand.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yes,
Can you hear
you're
me?
back. Yes, I hear you, and you're back. You seem clear. You're not as choppy. Help me, because I'm dying. Tell me what is sad, Kai. No, I'm going to give you another second.
Hold on. Get my life together.
Please.
No, to laptop.
It looks cute, though. I like the little globe. We got to keep that.
Thanks.
So.
This guy?
Yeah. I like it.
All right. We are back.
It's vibey.
Where am I? It is a vibe. It is a vibe in the crib. But yeah, you should have seen me scrambling just now. I was running around. I opened the closet where my Wi-Fi thing is at, and I was like, ah!
Right. Well, you should have saw me scrambling like, ping. Sad. Sometimes when the sun comes up, like it's Thursday, and like sometimes it gets nighttime.
Has anybody ever in the chat had to give a presentation and you were not prepared?
Right. You were the cheating one, and the person who did
Yeah.
all the work wasn't there.
And you had to
Yes.
go up there. Have you done that?
Yes, I've definitely been that guy. I did a lot of cheating, unfortunately, in high school, because that's what we did as athletes. But I definitely have had to give a few presentations that I didn't really write, and I found a way to make it happen. But this one, I can't.
You had no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Tell me about SAD. What is
Let's
SAD?
backtrack. We're back.
Please.
We're back. Yeah. So before we get into what SAD is and all that stuff, everything that we're gonna talk about today has to do with the circadian rhythm. I keep saying rhythm, like
Circadian rhythm.
Rhythm. There should be a rhythm called circadian.
Right. Yeah, you should create that. That'll be your dance style.
Right.
That's circadian Kai.
Circadian rhythm. I'll read this off of what we looked up, but it's the physical, mental, and behavioral changes that follow a 24-hour cycle. These natural processes respond primarily to light and dark and affect most living things, including animals, plants, and microbes. Chronobiology is the study of circadian rhythm. All that to say that our body has a natural clock that it goes through. And so when
Right.
it gets dark, the body knows to go to sleep. And when it gets light, the body knows to wake up. So
Right.
when anything that messes with that causes an imbalance neurologically and chemically in our body,
Mhm.
that then makes us feel depressed and anxious and
Right.
in a bad mood or in a good mood. You know?
So we're not really depressed.
Well, we're being triggered to be
Right.
depressed. Well, that's the thing, because a lot of people feel depressed, but they don't know why. They just think it's like,
Right.
like even women, their menstrual cycle, and then they feel emotional. They don't know why.
Right.
It's not, you're not crazy. You have hormones.
Right.
Act
But
it
isn't it like but like I said, I know when I feel down, right? I kind of have a few reasons or a few things that are going on, and there are causes to it, right? But
Mhm.
I mean, I know you're not a professional or anything, so I'm not trying to get too deep.
Right.
I'm all like, so
No, but it's
but
cool.
like there's usually causes. So like, but it's usually just kind of how my ability to want to deal with it, I think, is what changes. Is that kind of how it happens? Because it feels weird to say it's just a season, right? There are really literally things that are happening in my life that I feel like are causing me a little bit of stress.
Right.
You know what I mean?
think
Like,
on top of what we normally our plate
yeah,
of what we have to deal with, I
Right.
think it either adds to that or helps us deal with things better.
right,
It's easier
Yeah.
to deal with bad news when the sun is shining, it's warm, and you're outside having an ice cream. You're naturally in a better disposition to be like, you know what? It's life.
right,
As opposed
right,
to it's raining and it's cold, and then you get some bad news and you're like, this is it. I knew it. It was horrible. Life is over.
right.
So I think it might affect our disposition to be able to handle these situations. But
Right.
it's not like the end all be all. And being aware of how these things affect us,
Mhm.
there are some things we'll go through later that we can discuss to help us fix it and help
Yeah.
us deal with it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So you
'cause
say
I,
you're
like,
going through something right
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's like, let me just add in another note for anybody watching who doesn't know. I'm Ray J in the hat. I'm moving it every 5 seconds. All right, don't feel
I've
weird.
noticed.
It's supposed to happen. But yeah, so like I said, for me, I look at it like this. I feel like I'm strong enough to deep dive into my emotions. So I'm like Jacques Cousteau. Like I feel like I'm diving for like answers, and I can come back up and share them with the world. But it's kind of an exciting situation because I am feeling down, but it's different. So I really am kind of excited to figure out what it is. Like I mean, I've told this to a few friends and they're all like, what? Like shocked because I'm a very confident person, but I haven't been liking myself lately. Like I've never felt like I don't like myself. Like even when I do dumb things, I'm like, well, that's me. But like I even have trouble watching this show sometimes when I'm editing it, and I'm just like, I can't. You know, and I find things that I'm kind of nitpicking about myself, and I'm just feeling. I don't know. I'm just trying. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old and like I'm just my confidence is dying. I have no idea what it is. But it's kind of exciting to try to figure it out. And that's just kind of where I am.
Right.
But it's not so much a negative thing. It's what I'm going through, and I'm kind of approaching it that way in a positive way. But I am having some challenges. So who knows? I don't know what it is. That's
Yeah.
all.
Did you feel like, first of all, shout out to Cash. He says you are amazing. You are.
Say again?
Baby. Cash says you are amazing.
Oh, Cash, what's up, Cash? Look, she's one of my good friends from Texas, and we go way back. I still want to do the documentary too, that they bailed out on me. I went all the way to Houston to do this show with them, and then that I got there and they were like, I don't want to do it.
Dang.
So, but I know life happens. It's okay. Don't worry about it. They probably were,
But-
in some other things. But anyway, she's very H-Town, and we'll be in contact. Thanks for tuning in. But go ahead. What did you say, Kai?
Well, I was going to say that I had a time, and I go through moments like this too, periodically, but I had a period of time where I started was like having a real tough time feeling myself.
Right.
And it was just like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, that kind of was building up. Like it was like, and then as they started building up, it just kind of chips away at your self-confidence. And I heard this in a sermon where it was like, no matter how tough a rock is, under a certain amount of pressure, it will fold,
Right.
or it will crack. So, it's also understanding, maybe taking like, what is that called? Inventory of what's going on in your life right now, who you have in your life, what they're speaking to you, what are you speaking to yourself, what's going on around you. Maybe you're not at where you wanted to be. Maybe you're, all these different circumstances that can be happening to trigger your reaction to.
Yeah, I think honestly it's a little bit of everything. So, and that's even with the fact that I do feel happy. I don't feel like there's anything that's really causing it. I mean, there's just a lot of little things. And like I said, over the years, like, we've been out here hustling, living this life as entertainers and, figuring things out. Like, I find a way through it. I've always done it. I think I'm at a point where I'm just getting sick of doing it, right? I'm tired, right? And I think that's where my mentality is like, I'm tired. Like, I'm just kind of sick of hustling. I'm sick of loving. I'm sick of everything. I just want to I want to retire and just be at a retirement home and chat and eat and go to sleep. That's what I want to do. That's where I am in my life right now. Kind of.
Yes, you need a vacay. Anna,
Right.
heard that?
Right. So I don't know, but like I said, it's interesting. I'm not walking around depressed, but I just find myself having challenges to do the things I used to be able to just shake off, and now they come back like within seconds. So it's been a lot, but I do think it is a lot with the new schedule, and just finding balance in my life right now, because now I'm at home with my son like pretty much all day, and then I'm trying to work all day, and then when Anna gets here, I can finally focus on work, but I feel like I haven't found the balance in my life yet, and I think that's all it is for the most part. So anyway, let's move forward. I'm sick of talking about me. I feel like I'm on the couch right now.
Right, that's the point. We're in the red something. I don't want
Right.
to.
What are we in right now? Is there anything that we're in right now that could be
Yes,
affecting
well,
me?
we are. Well, first of all, we are. We just had daylight savings time, so I'll skip forward and then we'll come back to seasonal, because this is all. We just entered the winter season, right? We're getting into the winter season. The end of
Unless
fall.
you live in LA, then it's summertime all the time.
It's summertime. Today it was 80 degrees. I can't believe it.
Right.
But what was crazy is that even right now it's 7:11 and it's completely pitch black outside. It got dark at 4:30. And
Right.
it feels like it's never been. This happens every year.
Right.
So a lot
I
of that
honestly,
is
I feel like it naturally, like my clock, I like it when it gets dark around 5 or 6.
really.
So yeah, because I feel like 7 o'clock, like that's nighttime. Like so,
I
I
know,
feel like
like summertime when it's 9 o'clock.
right. No, like I no, like I feel like if it gets dark too late, it's weird to me. I don't know. I feel naturally comfortable when it's. I wonder, does that have anything to do with anything? Like that I do feel comfortable when it's getting dark around 5 or 6. Is that
Maybe
anything?
that's your natural rhythm.
Right. That's something to look
It all
into.
affects that,
I may
right?
look into that.
So daylight savings time, right, just passed this past Sunday,
Right.
and then a lot of people are asking. Some states have actually um, voted to cancel the whole thing, which is
Right.
interesting because then it goes back to time being just a construct. Time is a social
Right.
construct. What
But
is
this,
time? So time,
but this is what I'm telling you, man. Like this is what I'm trying to explain. Like when things like this is why it's scary to cater too much to what people's mentalities are, because there's no like who can you why can you say that somebody can't want this because of their mentality? Like our minds are so powerful. Like you can literally feel like you're a unicorn. Like how can we like how can we change our world based on how somebody is feeling? Like I get, like, obviously, even as a black American, I understand there's feelings involved with racism, different things, and there's emotions. Like, I understand catering to people's needs, but there is a point where you can't have everything, right? And,
right?
like, I just think there is a line, like, so. Again, go finish with the story, but like some people are just they're trying to abolish daylight savings, basically.
Yeah, I'm for that too because I don't
Right,
like the idea of having to. Other countries don't do this.
right. What is the point that we do it? Do you know?
So yes, so daylight savings, yes, daylight savings time was a excuse me,
COVID.
was created during the war times. Was created during the time of war. Historically, the changing of clocks was established by law in 1918 to save fuel during World War. However, there is a common myth that daylight savings time was established to extend the daylight hours for farmers. This is not true. I used to think that too.
Oh, I was like, wait, that sounds logical.
No,
That's like,
farmers were extremely opposed to having to turn their clocks forward and back twice a year. Changing hours is actually a disruption for the farmer. Makes sense. We talk about circadian rhythm, right? It
right,
messes with the circadian rhythm of the crops. Imagine telling a dairy cow accustomed to being milked at 5 a.m. that their milking time needs to be moved an hour because the truck is coming to pick them up. Their milk is at a different time. For the
right,
farmers, plants, and animals, it is the sun and seasons which determines their activity. So I am in favor of abolishing daylight savings time because it wasn't anything even for like it doesn't make any sense other than what this country is about, which is capitalism
right,
and saving money and things like that. So and it's also an antiquated ideal,
right. And what's the
right?
are there any kind of like mood swings or anything that's connected to that as far as daylight saving times, or just it's just the idea of getting dark sooner, you start getting tired sooner. Is that pretty much it?
Well, yeah. So now, it's like jet lag. Have you ever traveled anywhere and you go, it's in a different time zone. Your body, it takes about 2 weeks for your body to fully adjust
Right,
to the new time zone. So if you ever gone even to the East Coast or to Central Time, like you feel you're not, your body gets sleepy earlier and you wake up earlier or you wake up later. Your body
right,
just it takes a second to adjust. So yes, it disrupts your natural rhythm. And right now, I don't know if you felt anyway, but like on Monday, after having an extra hour of sleep, I still woke up early.
I don't like sleep. What's that? I don't like. Does everybody do that? Who does that?
And
No,
I
my
felt
my
like when it's like 4 o'clock at night, I was like, wow, it's so late. It was
that's
only four.
I don't. I like to be. It's fine. I live so in the moment. Like I don't really have a schedule, like a sleep schedule. Like I kind of go when I go. I kind of get tired when I get tired. Like if it's a busy day, I got to push through. I'm gonna be working. If it's not a busy day, then like sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna call it a day today. So
Hmm.
I don't really even usually notice, but I'm sure my body may, and I'm just not aware. So,
Maybe that's why you
uh,
upset.
right, exactly. So
You don't
who
need to know.
knows? But that's what I'm.
So
That's why. But that's even the exciting part too about now. Just is learning, like learning about myself. Um, Will Smith is doing the what is it called? The thing he's doing on YouTube.
documentary.
Yes, but it's called
Yeah.
something. Our best shape of my life, and I feel very
Hmm.
connected to Will Smith. Like I feel like we are very similar. Like when I hear him describe his struggles and different things that he goes through, I've always felt connected to him. And so just even watching him kind of learn about himself through this struggle, it's a lot of things that I kind of relate to. So the main point of that is like I'm learning about myself in this moment. So I
What is
think
the
that's exciting. So anyway, continue. I'm sorry to ramble about myself.
Yes. Well, to go into and also you got to keep us updated on what you discovered.
I
So
shall. Like I said,
some of
I'm
the
Jacques
things that
Cousteau.
you
I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving.
okay, good, and this can help you. It can help you. So SAD, right, seasonal affective disorder or SAD, is linked to a biochemical imbalance in the brain, and people experience a shift in their internal clock and circadian rhythm that then causes them to be off schedule with their daily life. And if you know anything about humans or us, that we feel when we're not on our stuff, on our P's and Q's, it affects our, self confidence, and we don't feel like
Right.
we're good enough. We're slipping, so that
Right.
also affects
So
us.
yeah, like
So,
everybody out there, if you're listening now, if you're listening later, take note of that. That is a very important thing to understand. If you are failing yourself, it will definitely affect your mood. You may not even realize, because I know I have this argument with my son. Right? You can make an excuse. You can trick me, but you can't trick yourself. Like even though you can tell
right,
yourself, "Well, I'm too busy. I can't do that. I'm gonna put it to the side." You could have got it done, and it's gonna stay with you in the form of like anxiety, and it's just there, and it never leaves until you deal with it. So failing yourself, like saying I'm gonna wake up and go to the gym in the morning. If you wake up in the morning and then you're like, nah, I'm good, like that's failing yourself because you should have pushed through, and that feeling stays with you. Like it feels like guilt, and you can tell yourself as many lies as you want, but you're still gonna feel horrible. So don't fail yourself. It affects your
right,
mood. Do what you need to do. Push yourself, and it helps. It definitely helps. And yeah,
yeah, and teach yourself.
right. You know what? Actually, like my sisters, shout out my sister Tiffany Thomas, Tiffany Pitts, Tiffany Thomas, all that.
That's
But she's my
Tiffany.
older sister, and she's really blooming as a human being, and I love seeing it. I love watching it. She's my older sister again, so she has gone through the thick of all of all of the oldest always go through the tough parts. So she has really lived her life kind of little bit more docile. She's kind of the quiet type. She was raised to, just shut up and put your head down. And so seeing her kind of blossom and find herself, and she's posting on Instagram and on Facebook, and it's just beautiful to see. But that's the point that I wanted to make was share it on Instagram. Sometimes sharing and posting, it literally makes you feel more motivated. Like sharing like positive thoughts that you hear and positive things that you've done, sometimes sharing it and feeling like someone may hear this and feel motivated as well, it helps you. It's kind of the AAA
Yeah,
theory, helping other people
yeah.
helps you. So,
It also, like I would say, my experience, it has helped me. It has helped keep me accountable. Like I was doing this, my little workout check-ins with some of my friends, and my
right.
family got up on there and stuff. And I still do it, and it was like it helped me get feel hold myself accountable to doing that, and
Right.
also sharing like funny things. It's nice when people respond and they're
Right.
laughing to a joke that I something I found was funny. So
Right. The
it
positive
helps. It
things
helps
about
feel.
social media.
Yeah, but then also too, as a matter of fact, this happened to me today. I posted something about a really dope quote that I liked. It said that a mother said, "It took me 9 months to make your heart, so don't let anyone break it in a few seconds."
That's
I thought that
dope.
was so cool.
Yeah,
That's
that is
dope,
dope.
right?
That is a
And I
second.
posted it.
Seconds is pushing it though. I don't think anybody could break your heart in seconds, but in a few months.
Well, but it's crazy because I posted that and then someone asked me like, "Are you okay?" And I was like,
Right.
"Yeah, I just posted," but makes sense.
Right. Do you ever
That's why.
notice like do you ever notice like that people around you are posting the same type of energy that you're posting? And that's when I know it must be a cycle or something's going on because like we must be in retrograde or something because I'll post something like, you know, where the real people at, and then another friend of mine will be posting like I'm sick of fake people, like people are in the same type of like energy where they're like they're kind of disappointed with people or the world, and there's certain times on Facebook where I see everyone either posting positive things or they're posting negative things, and I think that's when I'm like, it must be some type of season. Something's going on. Something's going around. So that's why I want to understand. So anyway,
Right, and that's
I
what
keep
we hear.
rambling. I get excited when I'm learning.
So some things when you feel like some symptoms of this SAD, but we are not doctors, nor we are here giving you medical
Not medical
information. So we'll
advice.
put that
We're
disclaimer. Right.
sharing our research. We researched some things.
Disclaimer. But some of the things, symptoms that lead to SAD, are if you're feeling depressed most of the day or nearly every day, you're feeling lethargic or agitated, easily irritable, you're feeling hopeless or worthless, having difficulty concentrating or making decisions, low interest in activities you once enjoyed. Now that's very interesting because
Yes.
that's
I
something
think
to take
that's
note
how
of.
I
It's
feel with
something.
maybe going out. Like I haven't had fun going out in a while. I don't know if it's because of the
Mm.
company, but like I haven't enjoyed it.
Your sleep pattern changes, or you're sleeping too much, you withdraw yourself socially, and a little more intense, you have thoughts of suicide or death. Those are
Mm.
kind of crazy. So ways
Yeah.
ways
Do you
to
want to hear
deal
my
with it,
sad?
or ways to combat.
Do you want to hear my
What?
like almost hilarious suicidal thoughts the other day? 'Cause I was
Oh,
literally here
see? Oh my
laughing.
God.
I was
This
literally
makes
here
me so
laughing at
sad.
myself, but I was like, I'm not suicidal, but like if I accidentally died, like it would be cool, like. And then I started like it was literally I was doing it like I'm doing now, and it's not funny. So I don't want to make this a joke, but it was funny how I went there without going there, and I even had to confront the fact that I was even making these jokes, like because it was like it was reflecting on, am I having suicidal thoughts? And I was like, no, but I could see how I could. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so
Right.
I was going through the whole list of like, what if I was driving and like a truck came and it wasn't my fault? But like, would you consider that suicidal thoughts, or
I don't know.
am I
It's
just
funny.
making the wrong jokes at the wrong time?
I don't know. It's a little hypothetical because I have a friend who I went hiking with my friend, and every like 20 minutes, he would say some outlandish thing like, imagine we're walking and a cheetah comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it has the babies, and then the mom comes and she chases us, and when we fall off a cliff,
Right,
whoa,
right,
that's crazy.
right,
And then we climbed
right.
up this rock, and he was like, imagine I fell off this rock. That wouldn't be crazy, right? I was like,
Right. I
that's
think
a
I've done
little.
that with somebody, like where you keep thinking about ways to die. Like that. I mean, that's a little different. Like, but in my state of mind, I guess it made me feel like I had, like, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Like, is that something you think I should confront? Like, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm weird. So I'm just, I don't know. Would that be considered suicidal thoughts? I don't
Maybe
think
if
I've
it
ever
comes up
had
again.
suicidal thoughts. Huh?
Yeah,
What'd you say?
is Anna there? Is Anna there? Oh, I thought somebody else was there giving you.
No, no, I was just asking you. I'm just saying, like, I don't
Yeah.
like. Would that be
Oh,
considered suicidal thoughts? I don't know, or is that just me just being a goofball? Because I thought it was funny that I would like. It was more of a funny like. I guess it's like I was
Hank
thinking of
says
what
sometimes.
if I thought this? What if I felt this way? It was funny in that way, but I guess I was really thinking it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I got lost in what
Yeah.
my real intentions were.
So Hank says that sometimes I think about opening the car door and rolling out. Not thinking about suicide, but I don't
Yeah, yeah,
know.
that's Big Hen. That's Henry, H Town, all the way in the building. But yes, don't do that. Don't do that, Hen. But that's what I'm saying. I was kind of doing
No,
it in more of a
but
joking.
have you ever had that where like I'll do something like that where I'll be he said sometimes I want to touch the stove burner when it's red. But honestly, that's how I felt. I felt weird when I first like held a gun and I went to a gun
Right.
range. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna accidentally shoot myself. Like it's so it's such a weird thought. Like just the gun does not have a consciousness, but
It
somehow I
doesn't.
felt like if I held the gun, I was gonna somehow point it at myself and shoot myself. Or
Right. I,
there was a, there was a time I felt I was when you see like somewhere you're not supposed to go, you're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna fall in there, or I'm gonna
right.
go in that right now.
Right. No, I
So
don't think I've I don't think I've ever done that one. But yeah,
no, you
that's
never
it.
thought that. Just me.
No. Like I said, I don't usually have thoughts that negative. So that's why I guess it's new to me, and it's kind of funny because I watched damn, I just forgot the name of it. Working Moms, which is hilarious. If you've never watched Working Moms, check it out. But
Oh
there
yeah,
is one
yeah, I've seen
character
that.
on there who's like that, and she's always kind of like she was selling a home. She's a realtor, so she was showing a home, and they were walking around checking out the home, and they came outside, and she had her head in the pool, like drowning herself almost. Well, they thought she was, but when they pulled her out, she was all like, "It was just so peaceful, and I could feel death." Like I don't know, she was like, it was. They made a funny joke out of it, but literally that's how I'm feeling, and I don't know if it's because I'm finding humor in it or if I'm literally feeling that. So I'll tell you when I find
Uh,
out. I'm exploring that. But yeah, Hen, stay positive, man. I've always, kept an eye on what you're doing. Stay positive. Don't jump out the car. Don't touch the stove. It's hot. You don't
don't
need to
touch
know.
the
You know
stove.
already. Right.
You
It's
know,
hot.
you knew it was hot. I'm
So,
sure you did that as a
all
kid.
right. Did you get through all of those?
Yes, we got through all of those, and now
All
we
right.
gave you the problem. Now we got to give you the solution, right? So these
Right.
are some
Ways to
solutions
combat it. Right.
to
Ways to
combat.
combat it is, which is this one's tough for me because I don't know what this means. Well, I guess I stay active, but stay healthy. Stay healthy is one of the things you can do to combat seasonal depression. I'm sure that's eating, working out. I usually keep a pretty consistent schedule of working out, but I eat horribly. That's something I do need to change. What are other ways to stay healthy, Kai? Mentally staying healthy. I
Well,
mean,
you can
watching kind of what you watch. Maybe staying away from social
what
media when
you
it's
take
getting all
in.
dramatic and different things, scary movies, and listening
Yeah,
to
what you
oh what
take
it
in every day.
right. And Kanye
Take in.
Kanye had a new soundbite out talking about the 808s and how low of a vibration that is. So
Yeah,
even just listening to rap music with 808s is just low
yeah.
vibration.
I think I talked about that too before on the show
Yeah, you
about your
talked about the
chakra.
vibrations, but I don't think you connected it to the 808 sound. Like the sound of
Yeah,
808s is
bass lower frequency sounds are
right.
rooted are associated with your root and sacral chakra,
Hmm.
and those are associated with your primal needs. So they'll trigger those fight or flight instincts. And
Right.
that's why a lot of those sounds are big in the clubs. They're big and they trigger like sexual emotions and things like that because that's what governs those chakras.
Right.
And that's why a lot of those songs are in the club because they'll
Right.
trigger all that stuff.
Right.
Whereas if you listen to a little higher vibrational music, literally higher frequency music, um, it'll keep a lot of gospel music is high frequency
Right.
chords.
What
So
do you think?
you
Like,
know,
what do you think the connect? Like, cause I always like to combat some of these conspiracy theories and different things with real
but it's not a
nature of.
conspiracy theory because
Oh,
they're actually real. They're actually real. It's real math.
yeah. Okay. I guess you're right. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, well, let me explain first. So the sound of 808s are kind of low and down because it has that grimy, like it just, it feels heavy. It feels like a
Hmm.
man. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I say a man, I don't mean it can't be a woman, but it's just, just and like, high sounds are usually,
Feels
the happy
primal.
woman songs. Like, so the idea that those two are connected, like obviously it's a low frequency, but it's how it's supposed to make you feel, right? You're supposed to feel a little down and grungy, right? Like I just think you just kind of have
Yeah,
to be
that's
careful
why
with how much of it you're listening to because it's you may not realize how it's making you feel but that's kind of what you're supposed to feel like. You're supposed to feel like you in the gutter. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well,
That makes
yeah, it's
sense.
intentionally made for you to feel that way,
Right.
because as the artist, for whatever reason, and a lot of times artists are in the studio underneath under the influence of some sort of substance, whether it be
Right.
alcohol, weed, whatever. I'm not saying everyone, but that sometimes tends to be what happens. And it
Right.
depends what kind of music you're making. If you're making like party music and you want people to dance to it, you're gonna create something a little bit more lower vibrational so that it will trigger from their root chakra, and
Mm.
that's where your reproductive system is. That's where your hips are, and that's what's going to make you want to move that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
So
don't
I
think
guess
it's made with the intention of it be evil. It's not like an evil thing. It's just
yeah.
being mindful of what you're consuming.
Yeah, I know what the conspiracy theory thing. This conspiracy theory thing came in. It's just just how they allow certain music to make it through, right? Or the powers that be that allow certain music to become popular. It's the
Right.
conspiracy theory of like that's some type of control. I don't know. Just it's just different things. I'm still
Well,
always
if
of
we
the
go
mindset
back,
of people's media. Everybody gives you what you are going to accept. So like if you like it, they're going to give it to you, and I think
yeah,
that's where it comes from. I usually try not to give all of those
I think if
conspiracy
we,
theories power. Go ahead.
I think if we go back to like the idea of capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
lower vibrational music sells in the clubs. It sells, and it sells tickets, and it makes people drink, and it makes
Mm-hmm.
people do things. So it sells. Sex
Right.
sells. So
Right.
from a capitalist business standpoint, that music is great. Like I know my album, just still to this day, to get ready and to go out with a night with my girls, and I'm a
Right.
woman, and I'm do all my thing, is Rihanna's Anti album.
Ooh.
That album, top to bottom, is to
Mm-hmm.
me is one of the best albums.
I gotta listen to
Um,
it. I don't know
oh
it that
yeah,
well.
oh yeah, no, and it's super like I don't get it's just like feels very empowering.
Right.
But I know what that's for. But then if
Yeah.
I'm going to church, I'm not going to listen to Rihanna. I'm listening to Fred
Right.
Hammond, Kirk
Do you feel
Franklin.
guilty though? Do you feel
Um,
would you feel guilty if the album was on your way to church?
yeah, I would feel like I'm not prepared for church. I'm not
Yeah.
ready.
So that I
Yes,
guess
we
to
are
tie.
live on YouTube as well, Hank. We are live on YouTube.
Yeah. I guess the point that I wanted to tie into all of that is that I mean obviously like the music you like and the music you listen to, you just have to be careful how it is making you feel. Like even though that
Right.
grimy, grungy feeling is what makes you feel tough and you love that feeling, you got to come out of that sometimes. So it's good to have an alternative, type of music or something that has a higher vibration and it definitely will pull you out of that. And that's a lot of fear that I have with some of my friends. Even well, I can't even call him Hank, but Henry in Texas, like they listen to screw music, different things, and it keeps you at this lower vibration. And if you don't really understand what it's doing, it could keep you in a constant state of feeling down and depressed, like you always in the hood and you're still grinding. You know what I mean? It's just be
Right.
careful
Well,
with
Henry
that. I
does
think is the main
what
point.
channel? We are IYKYK the show on YouTube. So
Right?
check us out. Henry's name?
Yeah. Big
All
Hen.
right.
That's what we call him. Big Hen.
So just to finish off this way to combat seasonal depression, like
Okay.
it
Yeah.
says, stay healthy, stay active, stay connected. There's a thing called bright light therapy. It's exposure to artificial light. It's like a contraption. It's small. You can buy it on Amazon. It's
Pregnancy.
exposure to artificial light to help keep one circadian rhythm on track. It's widely considered a first line of treatment option. Also,
Right.
there's something called a dawn simulator, which can help people. And these devices are like alarm clocks, but rather than waking you up abruptly with beeping or loud music, they produce light that gradually increases in intensity, just like the sun. That's cool. I
Right.
think I want one of those. Those are cool.
That is. Yeah. I was gonna say.
And
What is this? It's a little light machine or something.
yeah. You can find it on Amazon. You can find both of these on Amazon.
I'm about to
So
buy that
good
joint
Christmas
right.
gift
I'm about to
or
buy that
good
joint
like
right.
Black Friday gift. Yeah. Then also a way to keep like your mind healthy is to prioritize the activities. So see your friends, get together, go out. Don't stay in the house because it's cold. Also,
Right.
aromatherapy is a great way. I love scented candles, mint, eucalyptus, lavender, citrus to kind of wake you up. That's really cool. Also, stick to a schedule. So make a schedule for yourself. Stick to it because when you accomplish things, it helps boost your mood. Exercise. We talked about that with JD. Let the sun in. Get some sun. Go outside. Today I sat in the sun. And I was like, I need some vitamins. Let me get in there. Avoid alcohol. Go on
What?
vacation.
No. I'm kidding. So and the other weekend, actually the Carnelo weekend. I don't know if my mama watching, but I'm not really a drinker. Like I used to drink and get hype, and I think I've gone, to the herbal essences. So it used to be like if I was to partake, I would want to do nothing, right? But I spent the whole night drinking, and I was feeling more and more tired, and I was literally feeling like the depressant that it is. Usually I don't feel bad, but I literally was feeling like I was getting more
Tequila
and more
apparently is
depressed.
not.
Huh?
Tequila is apparently the only one that's an upper.
That's
Not
not
that
that's
I
an
am
upper.
promoting drinking at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I may try tequila, but so I think I found out that I'm not so much of a drinker anymore. Like, which was new. So again, learning new things about myself.
Yeah.
No alcohol.
Yeah. No alcohol, vacation, journal, vitamin D.
I like how they have
Get some
vacation
sun.
on here. Like everybody could just vacation out this joint.
Yeah, or staycation. Maybe go
Yeah.
stay in the house, go to the park, take a day off, go to the park. Okay. So we're running out of time. We might have to do this next week, the Mercury retrograde, because that's a whole nother
Yeah.
chapter.
That is a whole. Yeah, that's a whole. You said we don't have time for that one. You want to? Because we on our own
Yeah,
time
we
today.
are.
But no, let's wrap let's wrap it up. But tell me, like, explain Mercury retrograde. I think from what I've
Mercury
learned,
retrograde.
some planets somewhere look like they're going backwards, and it's not a good time to make decisions. That's what I learned.
So
How's that?
apparently, the rotation of the way the moon, the way the Earth rotates around the sun, it's
Right.
not in a perfect sphere. So there's certain times throughout the year the Earth is rotating and the other planets are rotating around the sun too. So the way it's positioned, the way planets are positioned in the sky, it almost looks like they're going backwards because of the
Yeah,
way the
that's what I
rotation.
read.
But they're not actually going backward. It just seems that way. So when that happens, that's what's called a retrograde. So Mercury goes in retrograde, Jupiter, Saturn, all the planets go in retrograde. Mercury, in particular, governs communication. So Mercury, when Mercury,
How do you be knowing this stuff? Like, what kind of test? Like, I don't.
yo, because
You don't know what
aliens
Mercury
came here.
does.
Aliens came here and told. Did
This
you
is
not
this
see
is
Eternal?
I
Did you
did,
not see Eternals?
but this
You
is
saw
this is too
Eternals,
in
didn't
depth. Nobody know. You don't know which, like, that's like saying Pluto make me happy because it's close. Like, I don't. How do you know? I want to. Like, I'm challenging all of this. These are human excuses.
We don't look that
But
up.
what are the
How do
moods
we
that are
not
connected
look
to
that up?
that? What are
So it says, don't make any serious decisions during this time. You will find it nearly impossible to nail down a plan. You don't want to sign any contracts. You don't want to buy anything crazy, do anything crazy during a retrograde. It is hard to get decisions from others. The past will come back.
Ooh.
So be careful. If you have an ex during retrograde, they might want to come back, or some old patterns might want to come back.
How do they know that? They don't look. I don't know. I'm skeptical. That's why I don't follow this kind of stuff.
And you might get more. You might be inclined to get into an argument with your loved ones. So if you and wifey are arguing and it's like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, it's like, okay, well, let me just chill. I'll see you in a week. We'll talk about this in a week.
That's we need to pick a day a week on that one. Forget a Mercury retrograde.
Well,
Tuesday, yeah, we arguing.
Henry
What's
say
today?
a lot of exes, bro. Dang. Well, just for all of y'all with a lot of exes out there, next retrograde, so you're clear for the rest of the year. The next retrograde is January 14th of 2022. January 14th to February 3rd.
Right. Don't do nothing.
So,
Stay home.
you
There you
know,
go.
just we're
Stay
good
home,
now.
son.
Yeah, write it down. Stay home. Don't do nothing that week. And
Yeah,
so,
just
and then the last
I
thing we'll
would.
say before
Yeah,
we head
oh,
on
go
to
ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
is our moon situation. So, kind of in line with the retrograde and the planets and the rotations and the cycles and all that stuff. You know, the moon rotates around the Earth as well, and it goes through a cycle from a new moon, which is you can't see it in the sky, to a full moon, and then back, right? And a full cycle is 29 and a half days. It takes 29 and a half days for the moon to rotate around the orbit around the Earth, right? So, how does the moon affect us? Right? The moon affects water. If you know anything about like the tides, the moon, when it's a full moon, the tides will be a lot more,
Right.
a lot brighter and a lot more active.
I remember
Well,
reading
if
that.
you think about it, we're like 90-something% water. So how are we not to think that the moon will not have any effect on us, right? So I looked it up, and apparently a full moon can affect your sleep. Women, it can make you have less deep sleep, whereas men, it can let you have deeper sleep. So it affects men and women differently. It can affect your blood pressure, your anxiety, and also this is due to your circadian rhythm. So always goes back to that. That was the point of today's show. And so the
Right.
new moon is when the moon kind of goes blank in the sky. A new moon is great for starting new things. So planting seeds, it's an invitation to start fresh. You can call out your intentions. What do you want? What's your goals? Like, so I would say use the new moon space to like set intentions. Like, all right, I'm gonna start this here. Do that. Then full moons are good for you to let go and receive what you've been trying to manifest. So all the work you've been doing from the new moon to the full moon, which is about 2 weeks, you want to give yourself that time to like, okay, what have I done?
Yo, do people really live by this? Like, do you know anybody who
Yes.
like lives by?
Yeah.
Like,
I have
I
a
need to
lot of
meet
friends.
these people.
Including me too. If you put crystals out on the full moon, you put crystals out and they get charged up.
This is a lot. This is a lot, dog. This is
Yeah.
like this is life. Like,
But a lot of people live their lives based on the moon cycles.
are
You
they
know,
like? Does it work? Are they successful? Like,
but that's their
I need to hear the successful
spirituality.
stories.
And you know, a lot of native cultures also use the moon and the planets and the alignment of the planets in the sky to govern how they move. So this is
Right.
not something that's like hokey pokey. This is definitely more so ancient philosophy and ancient studies and ways of doing things. So
Right.
you
I
know,
think
I
heard.
like all this stuff because it makes it cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it was a guy I was speaking to kind of gave me a break. I don't know which tribe, but there's a tribe in Africa who supposedly can, communicate through telekinetics. Like they can literally kind of read each other's brains. And, obviously
Wow.
we would call them primitive, but it's like we can't do that, but we talk on cell phones. And it's like, no, we are actually devolving, right? And they're actually more evolved. I don't know all the details, but I do feel like you do get further away from your natural instincts and your connections with the world and the energies the closer you are in the city, because of all the distractions and because of all the technology and all these different things. So I do feel like a lot of the things that we're talking about are valid, but they're too damn detailed. Like I don't like there's no way you could tell me my ex is coming back just because it was Thursday on October 29th. And she gonna want me back. Like that's ridiculous. I'm gonna meet everybody on that day.
Energy. Like if you think about subscribing to the idea that we are all energy, everything is energy, and frequency.
Right.
And say if you think about sacred geometry and everything is math, then it makes more sense that way. Because otherwise it seems like this mystical thing that's like weird. But for me, I had to break it down of like, what does this really mean? And so, we always talk about making things simpler here. And I
Right.
think for me, when I broke it down to like everything is energy and everything is math and everything can be accounted for in a mathematical way, then yes, it makes sense when you're at one
Ooh,
frequency
I
and you attract everything.
one of the best readings I ever had was a numerology. Are you okay? I can tell. It was a numerology reading, um, and it was spot on. And I think that was I don't really do anything about like tarot and trying to find out my futures, and I don't really do a lot of that stuff. But I did
Right.
really enjoy doing a numerology report, and it was pretty spot on. And everyone I shared it with, it was spot on. So, like I said, I do know that there's validity in what we're talking about. I just feel like it is kind of with a grain of salt. Like, again, just because I
Yeah.
met a girl
And it's
at this
all to
time,
be
it doesn't mean she's
taken.
gonna come back because of retrograde. Like,
Right. And it's
I don't want to
all
encourage
to be
people to live
taken.
that deep in it.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
to be taken with a grain of salt. You know
Right.
what I mean? Everyone does what they do. Just like there are religions out in the world, there are so many different religious practices, meditative practices. For me, I just enjoy learning about this stuff because I'm like, oh, I can try this, I can try that. And
Right.
super works for me. So I
Right.
just like sharing the information because it's interesting. And I think it's interesting to see how different ways of thinking are still connected.
Right.
Like you could say somebody working at a higher frequency and lower frequency, you could connect that to religion about being a good person or
Hmm.
being a bad person, things like that. So I'll leave you guys with this, just so we're clear. We have our new moon. Our new moon just happened on November 4th. So you should have set those intentions. But you should at the end of the month you'll have or start of December you'll have another new moon. Our full moon is going to be called the Beaver Moon. They have moon. The name,
Beaver? Is that Beaver Moon?
I don't know. Yes, call the Beaver Moon because apparently at this beavers are out creating their dams and they're nocturnal animals, so you'll see them working a lot during the full moon. And it's November 19th, so it's coming up.
Beaver Moon.
Coming up the full moon, so get your crystals out.
Shave your beavers.
Shave your beavers and get your beavers working. Work those beavers.
That's so funny. Hearing you say it though, shave your beavers. Hilarious.
Yeah. So that's it. That was our show on what's going on right now, because I know a lot of people, including myself, including JD, are dealing with this. I know in the East Coast, in many parts of the country and the world, it's getting colder, it's getting darker, the leaves are falling, it's going to start snowing soon. Now we know why.
Right. Like I was waiting. I was like, did her audio go out? Like I was just like, wait, what? So yeah, but yeah, we had a few things on here, but I know for a fact, like, I know it comes and goes. I just don't know what I'm in, what it's going through. Like, I don't know how to identify, but I do know it comes and goes, and your mental strength, your mentality, everything is going to be challenged all the time. So it's good to understand why and how to combat it. And yeah, stay
Right.
strong, stay
And don't
positive.
make it an
Yeah, don't make it an excuse. Yeah.
people feel like, oh my God, Mercury is in retrograde. Tone is
Right,
in
ain't doing
Chancleta. Right, wasn't me. Look, Henry
Right.
talk about I got my crystals ready already. All right.
Right. And
You're gonna
I
have an
usually look at it.
ex-pop up and be like, yo, it was retrograde. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I look at it like I kind of described. Like, I mean, it's literally you're kind of understanding yourself or figuring yourself out. If you have kids, if you want to have kids, it's always good to understand your feelings, and it just helps you understand people. So use those times to challenge yourself, find a way out of it, understand yourself, and grow, and try to stay positive, because that's where I am. I'm literally in the thick of it. Like, I may cry after this show, but I'm positive, and I'm gonna figure it out. And I know it's just, I know it's gonna pass.
Hug.
So, is that my hug?
This too shall pass.
Oh yeah. Yes,
The
it all
little hug.
will. Yeah, it all will. So, thank you guys for joining. Kai, I hope you feel better. Fingers crossed. Everybody send a prayer out for Kai. Make sure she's not, inflicted with that shit. You know what I'm saying? She got that shit.
I'll keep you posted.
Right. And who's the friend? Let's call him out. No, I'm kidding. Never mind. But I hope you feel better, Kai.
Baby LJ. Titans. Oh yeah, he's not. He's not feeling his Titans jersey.
Yeah, I was just about to flex these in a minute. But yeah, them Titans is looking strong right now. Henry is hurt. Actually, not you, Henry, but Derrick Henry's hurt. But we looking strong. I can actually wear this in the streets and feel confident. And you need to stop hating because they always gonna be the Oilers. They didn't leave because of no other reason. They had to leave. It was the franchise. They always gonna be the Oilers to me. Son, H-Town, stand up. That's us. Forget Tennessee. It's always gonna be Houston. They the Oilers. So shout out the Oilers. We'll see y'all in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna throw a real joint on that. No, yeah, Kai don't do the
All right,
sports.
y'all. Thank
We
y'all
don't
for
do the
tuning with
sports.
us. Thank you for tuning in with us. We had a little situation in the
We
beginning,
ain't
but
had
we
nothing.
thugged out as we normally
Yeah,
do.
we thugged it out. Just remember, we gotta get Kai some better internet, and before we do this next time. But anyway, thank y'all for joining. Shout out Cash. Henry, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for jumping in the room. First time I'm seeing you in here. Let's play some Call of Duty. Actually, I don't even play no more. I'm probably whack. But let's play. Let's hang out. Let's do something. And we'll see y'all next time. All right? Kai.
Peace. Bye, y'all. Yeah.
No, I was literally just saying your name just cause.